morning and welcome to the Iconic Cafe podcast 4. Today we're in Jamaica, Ocho Rios, following up on my third podcast where I talked about dive watches. And this morning we're going on a shipwreck dive with the team at Sandals Ocho Rios. Today I'm wearing the Rolex Sea Dweller, reference number 116600, which is essentially the heritage watch created back again in 2014 following the launch of the much larger Sea Dweller, the 116600, which was a 43mm case, so much bigger. This watch is certainly iconic because for a few years the Rolex supporters had to wait for the traditional Sea Dweller. And of course the Sea Dweller is a much larger watch than the Submariner. It's thicker, has a 4,000 foot depth rating and this helium escape valve. But the beauty of this is it contains all the heritage of the dive watch, and as I say, a Sea Dweller is much more of a commercial dive watch as opposed to the Submariner, which is a leisure watch. And the beautiful thing for me on this is it's got a beautiful sapphire crystal glass which is scratch proof, and it's then got this ceramic bezel which is also scratch proof with a unidirectional bezel for timing. Now the interesting thing for me is obviously in modern diving they don't use these, but for me, going back to my nostalgic years in the 50s and 60s, there was a great program called Sea Hunt in which Lloyd Bridges used to go on various missions overboard with his tanks, and he would put his Rolex watch on, and I think in those days they had an extension link. This watch, interestingly, although it has an extension link which I haven't got, has got an extendable bracelet, so it's very easy to adapt it. And I've got my rash vest, which it's too warm for a wetsuit, so I'm wearing a rash vest, and I can adapt it so it goes onto my rash vest over the top, and then I can set the timing. So if we're going to go down at 5 to 9, I then can watch this and know exactly how many minutes as the minute hand goes round. And we're normally doing a dive for about 30 minutes and we're going down to about 60 feet. More of that to follow. Well, here I am at the end of another podcast from 10 days in Jamaica, which has been amazing. Our dive was just a brilliant dive. We went down to a wreck called the St. Catherine wreck, just here in Ocho Rios. And as well as that, we've taken time to visit the Duns River Falls, where they made Dr. No in 1962, Sean Connery and Ursula Andress, as they are escaping from the enemy. But it's been an amazing place and brought back wonderful memories. So from Ocho Rios, this is the Iconic Cafe, welcoming feedback and any comments until the next podcast. Thank you.